And we're just hearing that Doctors Without Borders says a hospital it supports in northern Syria has been destroyed by airstrikes. 2 strikes hit the building near the rebel-held town of Marat al-Numan in the Idlib province. Now, according to a group that monitors the conflict there, at least 9 people were killed. And then in a separate incident, Russian cluster bombs have killed 10 civilians in Azaz in northern Aleppo. Many others were apparently wounded. Well, let's get more on this and speak to TRT World's Anelise Borges, who has more from Gaziantep. She's close to the Turkish-Syrian border. Anelise, what more can you tell us about these hospitals that have been hit today?
We are getting reports that some of those wounded in those attacks have been conducted to the Turkish side of the border in Kilis. They are going to be treated in hospitals on this side of the border, but it's we're still learning about what happened this Monday in Syria. We do understand that there are separate attacks, separate events, and the hospital that was targeted, the hospital run or supported by MSF, Doctors Without Borders, is in Idlib. And in another attack, a separate attack, a women and children's hospital was attacked as well. And so many more casualties this Monday in Syria, but we're still learning. And so far, we have very few details about who carried these airstrikes and who are responsible for these attacks.
And now, Turkey has continued shelling YPG positions over the weekend. It describes this as retaliatory action. Do you get a sense from there that the war in Syria is now spilling over into the border, into Turkey?
Well, Turkey has indeed carried out a second day of shelling on YPG targets on Sunday. These operations started on Saturday, and the Turkish defense minister has insisted that these are in response to attacks on this side of the border. So we are getting a sense that the situation is getting more and more tense as days go by. But the Turkish defense ministry has also said that there's no intention to send ground troops, Turkish ground troops, into Syria. And the Turkish defense minister has denied the information that Turkish troops had crossed into Syria this weekend. That information was part of a letter sent by the Syrian Foreign Ministry to the UN Security Council saying that Turkey had to respond to for its actions and accused Turkey of violating Syrian sovereignty. So only last week we were seeing that meeting in Munich where there are hopes about a potential ceasefire that Russia was suggesting. And now this conflict in Syria seems to be getting very far from the beginning of the end and entering a new phase.
Indeed. Many thanks for updating us on the very latest from the Turkish-Syrian border, Anelise Borges.